Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. Let's take a look at the Forex economic calendar for today. So the Asian session quite quiet. We got data from Japan, bank services PMI, well, beats the expectations. Last time 50.9, this time 53. Excellent job. Services PMI from Japan, services PMI from China, not that well. 52.2, last reading 51 only this time, but still above the level of 50, so not too bad at all. Now we enter the London session and we continue with the PMI data releases from across the Eurozone. Services PMI are scheduled for release before 10 o'clock because at 10 o'clock we got the Eurozone composite PMI and the services PMI scheduled, of course, for the release for the wider audience. Now 10:30, of course, composite PMI, services PMI from the UK, and then we smoothly enter the US session. We start with the speech from the German Buba Balz at 20 to 4, 20 to 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, interest rate decision from the National Bank, Polish National Bank will be announced. Then we got the first major event of the day, ADP Nonfarm employment change scheduled for release at 2:15. 15 minutes later we got trade balance including export and imports from the US and trade balance from Canada. Then we got the ECB Lane to give a speech at 3 o'clock. At 3:45 we got another interesting data release, major data release, global services PMI, and then we got non-manufacturing PMI at 4 o'clock and crude oil inventories at 4:30. This is the day of the PMI from across the world. Atlanta Fed GDP now is scheduled for release at 7 o'clock. FOMC member Bowman will give a speech at 9 p.m. and then at the end of the day at 11 o'clock we got AIG manufacturing index data. So pretty busy day. Some very important data releases from across the board, but the market participants will wait definitely the data from the services PMI from the Eurozone and from the UK and the US. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the charts. We start with the euro dollar. What do we have here? Well, we have a breakout. We have a breakout on a 4-hour chart. We broke above the local supply zone, 1.0355 was violated. We broke above 100 periods moving average, which is now 1.0371, and the local high so far is 1.0410, just before the PMI data releases from the Eurozone. So, shall we apply this trend line here? Shall we do it? Even if then there's a breakout. Definitely something to keep an eye on. And that's a very interesting development to the upside with quite positive and quite strong momentum, 57 points. So that's definitely very nice rebound. Well, what's next? Well, the next is the other supply zone. So the area located between 1.0437 and 1.0462. Right. Next is this supply zone. We should see increased bearish activity around this zone, and then we will see what the market will do. Any breakout higher would be very bullish, and the next target is of course the swing high from the January 27. 1.0534 is the high for this swing. So keep an eye on data releases, keep an eye on what the euro will do with these data releases. Alright, cable. Same situation here, even more bullish chart this is. Gap is fully covered. now we are breaking towards the swing high. 1.2522 is the next target for the bulls, and if this level is violated, then 1.2574 is next. With this kind of a momentum, 61 points, strong positive momentum, it's quite possible we will do it. Okay, but it all depends on the data releases and how the market will react on the data. So far, it's very bullish. We might even hit the level of 1.2609, which is the 38% of the Fibonacci retracement of this whole big movement to the downside, this whole big downside swing. So, quite interesting situation here as the euro, dollar, and cable going up. So what is going on the US dollar index then? If they are going up, US dollar index is going down like a stone. Look at this rejection here on the supply zone. Gap again filled with 100%. Support, a little bounce, and then breakout. So now it's resistance. And then local technical line marked in orange here, violated again, red bars or candles here. And now we are testing the last zone before the swing low from the January 27. So it looks like the US dollar is getting weaker across the board after the initial rally, which were triggered by the increasing the tax tariffs on China and Canada. So possibly the market participants realize that it will lead to increased inflation, eventually to higher possibility for Fed doing the interest rate hikes. So US dollar is being treated like very, very negatively across the board. Momentum 39 points only, big reversal here, and downside movement is in progress. If the euro dollar cable is going up and US dollar index is going down, what is gold doing? All-time highs. Well. Gold is telling us something. Guys, gold is definitely telling us something. 2,864 per ounce of gold. That's expensive. Look at this. Let me just switch to weekly. There you go. Look at this. This is 2017. This is bullish uptrend on gold. All-time high. Well. That's not good for the US dollar at all. If this is the situation with the gold. So the next target for gold, hard to say, but 2,900 is definitely next target. And the level of $3,000 per ounce of gold will act as a magnet in this situation. So please stay focused. We are bullish as long as we don't fall below 2,725 demand zone. Last but not least, let's take a look at the Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is doing nothing. On a 4-hour time frame chart, Bitcoin is definitely in the middle of this the recent bounce range, with the momentum at 45, just barely below the level of 50, but below the 100 periods moving average, right? But it doesn't do much, despite the fact that the recent fundamental news triggered some sort of this first sell-off, then the bounce. Right now, the market is quite calm. It's quiet. So, as I said, we might see the Bitcoin moving up and down in sideways trend between those two arrows, between this low from the January 13 and the high from the January 20. So for now, there is not much to report, really, not much to analyze, but it is worth to keep an eye on the Bitcoin these days. It's worth to keep an eye on the Bitcoin these days, because sooner or later there will be breakout to the upside or to the downside. However, in the background, we all know that the long-term trend on the Bitcoin is up, but there might be a potential for the double top on the Bitcoin, right? So there is a potential that this long-term trend might be completed, and the whole situation here is the partial or full distribution of the Bitcoin, very, very close to the all-time high. Okay, so please keep this in the back of your head as well. The breakout to the downside below the demand zone confirms this scenario. The breakout higher invalidates this scenario. Scenario is sideways and potential top in place, long-term top in place, so the bigger correction is coming to the markets. We will see. We need to wait and see what the market will do, and then of course one of this scenario will be confirmed, one will be invalidated. And that's it for me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.